Morning. It is 5:30 in the morning here in Austin, even though my laptop says 6:31 because I keep forgetting we're an hour behind. Got a pretty good night's sleep after a long day of traveling. Started at 2:30 in the morning to catch a 3:45 shuttle at what was supposed to be the Stanford Plaza. That's what I signed up for, and it turns out that the shuttle service that I signed up for actually picks up and drops off at the Stanford Marriott, even though the customer service person I spoke to the day before said Stanford Plaza. Anyway, that was how the day started, and from there it went to LaGuardia to Dallas, from Dallas to Austin, and now we're here. So let me tell you, trying to get a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old on and off planes and to locations is like herding cats. So I'm beat. But we got in. My bike didn't get lost, thank God. I was terrified that once we hit Dallas, it was going to end up in like Zimbabwe by the time we got to Austin and lost forever, but that wasn't the case. Yay! The hotel that we're staying at is absolutely gorgeous. A friend of mine was able to get us into the hotel, which is amazing. It was kind of neat too because we went to go volunteer to, every time we come down we volunteer. It's last year Zach and I did a lot of volunteering, and plan to do the same. But when we reach Ride for the Roses status, which is kind of the top tier of fundraising at LiveStrong, they turn around and they give you amazing accommodations and events, and unfortunately for us, that means that we're not as available to do some of the volunteer work that we usually do. But when we showed up, they were pretty much done, and I said, oh, well, what else can we do? And one of the folks there said, by hitting that fundraising, you did your volunteering, and it's time for us to give back. Which I think is pretty cool. I mean, there aren't that many nonprofits that would turn down volunteers that way. So, yet another reason why I'm a big fan of LiveStrong. But the kids had their first cups of One Pelota coffee. One Pelota is Lance's coffee. Well, it's the coffee shop and Lance's bike shop. And personally, I love coffee, and I have yet to get a better cup of coffee anywhere else. Truly. And they've got all kinds of crazy coffee drinks. So yesterday I had a cafecito, which was really good. The funny thing is, it's also like the least expensive of the espresso-based coffees, and I liked it better than a cappuccino. And my daughter had her first cup of coffee, so she's very excited. Kids have their bikes, so that's how we're going to be getting around town. My bike is, I'm going to get fitted on it later this morning. Again, one of the perks of Ride for the Roses is that you have a bike room where your bikes get stored and watched 24/7, and amazingly professional bike mechanics building your bikes and adjusting them and tweaking them. So it's kind of like a spa day for the bike, which is really cool. So today I have to check the agenda. I know that we're going to be we're obviously going to be biking around, which is going to be fun. Undoubtedly, it's going to include coffee at One Pelota's and a stop at Milla Johnny's, because at the very least, I couldn't take my CO2 cartridges on the plane because apparently they'll explode. So touring around Austin on bike, which is always fun to do. I know we're going to end up at LiveStrong headquarters. There's going to be an autograph signing. I'm sure there's going to be some pro cycling sightings. We're going to hit the LiveStrong village, which is where they have vendors and things like that. And other cancer resources, etc. I know a couple of friends that run some of them, so we'll be stopping by, pick up our swag bags. We'll pick up my swag bags. I think the kids are going to be jealous, but sorry kids, hey, think of it this way, when I die you get all the stuff anyhow, so don't worry about it. And then tonight is a super secret special Ride for the Roses fundraising awards dinner. They won't give us the location. I have my suspicion I know where it might be and why it's kept secret. But, you know, who knows? I could be totally wrong. I really hope I'm right, though. So I'll be reporting on that tomorrow. Otherwise, you know, I always underestimate how chemo is affecting me. The chemo brain was definitely hitting a bit yesterday. Well, chemo brain, I think, in combination with the fact that I'd been up since 2:30 in the morning, or 2 o'clock in the morning, really. Well, I hadn't gone to sleep. So, okay, so being awake for 24 hours, and traveling, made for fun. Oh, that's right. And the kid, Ariella finally had her first real Tex-Mex food here in Texas. And, you know, first she was just being a grumpy face. We went with a bunch of the guys from Cyclists Combating Cancer, which is the team that I ride with, and it's a lot of the members are personally fought cancer, so and are survivors, which is really cool. Yeah, so we'll make sure about Jody. Jody Sugar's a team member, and a couple of other friends. There are some that have joined the team that aren't cancer survivors, but were directly touched by it. But we had a really lovely evening, and it's kind of funny because you would think Livestrong Weekend, the topic conversation is cancer, but it really wasn't. It was just a bunch of people hanging out, and I think, you know, that's the other interesting thing that happens when you get a bunch of cancer survivors, whether it be breast cancer or any kind of cancer together. You know, there's always this assumption of, okay, that's all that you talk about, and I don't think, like I said, it came up when I asked them. I said, "Hey guys, you know, stupid question. Can I drink while I'm on chemo?" And the funny thing is, you know, almost everybody at the table fought cancer one way or another, and you know, everybody just kind of looked at each other like, I don't know. And I was like, how can this be possible? I'm sitting at a table of a bunch of people who either have had cancer themselves or not. Nobody knows the answer, and the answer was it's different for each person, different, you know, depending on what treatment you have. And they said, "What's it going to do? Kill you?" So I mean, I ended up having a drink, but it was just really funny, and we realized it's kind of like a family reunion here. So anyway, hopefully, you know, I'll try and get a very exciting location to film at. But I will talk to you guys later. I'm probably going to be wearing yellow, so if I look somewhat jaundiced, I apologize. Talk to you later.